So I am making a danda for my friend Santosh. This is a guava wood danda and it's very sturdy wood. I have smoothed it out using my handy angle grinder and I have sanded it down with some pads. Um, yeah, so it's very sturdy. It could do a lot of harm. You could use it for defense. You could use it as a hiking pole. It's a multi-purpose stick, and this multi-purpose stick is grinded down using this from a basic shape like this. This is a non-grinded down guava wood. A big piece again, slightly bigger than this, I think. Yeah. So maybe I'll use that as well later. So yeah, this is the natural shape that the guava wood comes in. Now I'll show you a little bit about how I grind it so that you get an idea. So what really happens is, first I think I should explain, is that the shape already exists, the overarching shape already exists in the wood. Alright, if it's a snake or whatever you want to make, generally it's a snake, it already exists in the wood, the shape, and it just has to be grinded down to reveal itself. But it already is there, that's how I see it. So when I select a piece of wood, I check for how sturdy it is, I check for its species, what it's used for. Yeah, I check its wood. I take small twigs, I snap them, and I see if they are, how quick they snap or how hard they are. We generally can't test by snapping twigs, so I take some big branches that seem asymmetrical to me or seem serpentine to me or has the right shape that I'm looking for. I could spend hours on just observing a tree, trying to find the right kind of branch that I need. So yes, so this is the guava wood that I am making for my friend Santosh. And what I've done I've tried to replicate a snake-like form in it, rounding the front and slightly flattening the back, very slightly really. Overall just a round snake-like texture, because I've held snakes so many times I understand what they feel like. So I just emulate that intuitive sense of feeling that I have of what it feels like to hold a snake onto the wood. And I try to balance it from every side so that you could hold it comfortably and it doesn't, for example, it doesn't flop down. So over here I have to do more sanding because it's difficult to hold it up. It's naturally just flopping down. It shouldn't be like that. You could hold it and it should stay. It should not be disbalanced, is what I mean. So especially for a round piece or for a curved piece of wood, it's very difficult to balance it out. So you have to go inch by inch by inch by inch by inch. Every inch I go, I hold it, I see its weight, I check its weight. Oops. I check its weight and I slowly move down the stick to feel it through and understand where it turns, the contouring. If the snake is standing erect like this, how would it feel like, how would the curvature feel like. I'm just emulating that. And yeah, so what I do is I go inch by inch by inch, and from every inch I will hold it, I will see how it feels like. And so there is some work to do over here, some grinding, some tapering to do over here. This area seems to be a little unstable, and yeah, so demonstration purposes, So you sand it down, smooth out the texture even more, and then you sand it with your hands. Sand it in the way you would hold it, so that it's perfectly sanded in that direction. Or just sand it whatever way you want. And then I would see, now it's further tapered. Now I just need further tapering and tapering, just like a snake, thick at the top and thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. Actually, not as thick at the top, but it depends on the species. Some species are, but overarchingly, thicker and thicker and tapering down to a more uh, narrowed down tail over here. So I just have to taper it down, which I will grind it down with the grinder, and then I'll rub it, and then I'll hold it, and I'll see if it's balanced, if it's more stable than before. If it's less stable, see, it requires a little more work. This place requires some work. So yeah,